Chapter 1: A severely injured person was given an antidote. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Empress Fan Reporting Office, Robin Fan Reporting Office, Nami Fan Reporting Office, Big Fan Reporting Office, It's Fan Reporting Office, Audit. Audit brother. I really know I'm wrong. I won't do it again. Please let me go. This is my first time. I don't have much concept of degree. I must be a good person in the future. Please let me go. Bar. In a dark cave, two figures, one big and one small, cuddled together. The bigger one kept breathing heavily. At this time, the smaller figure beside it, which was motionless with its eyes closed, moved slightly. Then he suddenly jumped up. The big guy on the side had a big mouth on his face. While beating him, he yelled, "I'm going to go to bed in the morning. How dare you betray my wife? You actually open a room with another woman behind my wife's back." Snap. There was a crisp sound in the cave. After the beating, the guy who did it slowly opened his eyes. Who was a little sleepy at first, suddenly opened his eyes after seeing clearly the environment he was in. "Oh, I'm your uncle. Where is this? Where did I get this from? Is this still in China?" That will shouted with some collapse. I just remembered that I had just received a big order to treat a tiger, and I was rushing there in a car sent by the zoo. I heard that the tiger was in estrus, so he used too much force and damaged his side, but as soon as I got in the car, I squinted for a while, and when I opened my eyes, I was here. In the dream, I also dreamed that I suddenly had a wife, and my wife was cheated by a mistress. He was so angry that he slapped the mistress in the face on the spot. At this time, I still didn't understand the situation, but I heard a groaning and gasping sound, turned his head sharply and looked over there. I saw a medium-sized deer lying on the side. There were many obvious traumas on his body, and blood was slowly coming out of his mouth. The consciousness is also a little blurry. As a veterinarian, we could tell at a glance that if no one took care of the deer, it would definitely burp in half an hour at most, but at this moment, suddenly realized why this deer looked so familiar. Before he could get closer and take a closer look, he felt dizzy. A large number of memories that did not belong to him suddenly appeared in his mind. The headache lasted for 2 minutes before it ended, and he finally recovered and did not die from the pain. Hiss. I've never heard of time travelers having to go through this hell gate before. That's right. After merging the memories, we also figured out the current situation, traveled through time and came to the rough and turbulent world of pirates. This is the hometown of Chopper, the Siga country. The timeline is also the day before Luffy and others are about to go to the island, and the deer lying next to Chopper. Chopper just came down the mountain to collect medicine for Dr. Dory. On the way, he met the unconscious Weir. He couldn't bear it and was ready to rescue him, but Weir was being hunted. There are 3 guys who don't know where they are chasing Vale. What happened after that was also obvious. Those 3 guys were ready to kill Chopper. Originally, with Chopper's strength, it would have been easy to deal with the 3 of them or escape from the hands of the 3 ordinary people, but the bad thing is, those 3 guys are all devil fruit users. We don't know where these 3 pieces of shit got their shit luck. Everyone actually has a devil fruit. This is simply off the mark. A guy with a bird's fruit slowed down Chopper's speed. The other 2 are a hairy fruit and a chicken man in the form of an animal chicken. After slowing down, Chopper accidentally got entangled by the guy with the furry fruit. The 3 of them beat Chopper violently, but those 3 guys were just ordinary people after all, and had not received any professional training. After beating Chopper violently for a while, Chopper took the opportunity to escape. The exhausted Chopper finally couldn't hold on anymore after running with all his strength for a while. I had to find a cave to hide, because it had been snowing outside. The blood stains it left were quickly covered up, but the 3 guys were still digging in the snow, following the first blood stain, pushing aside the layer of snow above. The blood underneath was naturally exposed. It won't be long before those 3 guys find this place again. By then, both of them would be in trouble. How can this be done? Chopper is quite strong. If he is not injured, it will not be a problem to escape with him, but now it is seriously injured. Although Will is a veterinarian, he doesn't have the tools even if he wants to save Chopper, not to mention letting a weakling like deal with those 3 devil fruit users. Definitely braided on the spot, but Chopper is such a good brother. Without it, we wouldn't have to wear it. Burp directly. If I can survive this time, I will definitely not forget you when I become famous. I will definitely let you have someone to feed you when you eat and push you when you walk. Let you become the first Tian Longlu in the world. But the most critical question is how to survive, when Will was worried about how to escape. Bite. I'm coming on horseback. Congratulations to the host for activating the miraculous doctor to save people's extremely serious psychological shadow system. Host, veil, function. The host will gain negative points if the patient has negative emotions, fear, despair, fear, etc., and the negative points can be exchanged for various items in the mall. If the treatment process causes psychological trauma to the patient can obtain an ability of the other party. Heroic, fruit, physical fitness, etc. It is detected that the host's situation is a little bad, so I will send a novice gift package. Congratulations to the host for obtaining an antidote, LV99. Antidote, LV99. It can instantly remove the poisoning effects of all foods. Gone. In just half a minute, Will's mood was like a roller coaster. First, system. Is it true? Am I hallucinating? Then, damn. Really? Isn't this unstable? The magic doctor system, saving Chopper is not easy. Finally, damn. Gone. Antidote. Food poisoning. Are you crazy or my cerebellum is atrophied? Looking at the potion in his hand, Will was stunned on the spot. Good news, the system is here. Bad news, the system is useless. The name doesn't seem good at first, but the level is very high. It's not just an ordinary item. What happened? Treat food poisoning. You can give a medical kit better than this. Giving a medical kit can at least save Chopper, otherwise it will die in half an hour. In the end, it was given a treatment for food poisoning. This, who can I give it to? Chopper is obviously not food poisoning. But no matter how much I call, the system in my mind is like an old man who is trying to scam people, as if it can't die anymore. What should I do? Will looked at the antidote in his hand and fell into deep thought, but the three guys outside won't wait for me to come up with a solution. They have found this place. At this time, a loose sound came from the hole blocked by Chopper. Aha! I found you. How powerful is your brother Chicken? Suddenly, a chicken head popped out of the snow pile at the entrance of the cave. The chicken's beak almost hit Will's mouth. The sudden change scared Will so much that he jumped up on the spot. Looking at the three weird-looking guys, Will also began to get anxious, but these three guys were all tall and strong, and he just felt powerless. How to fight? Boy, you two guys come with us. Brother Chicken walked in with a grim smile. He wanted to catch the seriously injured Chopper first. After all, Will was not a threat. The key was to deal with Chopper first. Seeing that Chopper was about to be captured and he himself would not be able to escape death, Will looked at the potion in his hand. Suddenly, an idea flashed in his mind. Food poison. To determine if food is poisonous, it should be that after eating the food, some negative effects are obtained, right? Is there a possibility devil fruit is also considered food poison? After all, after eating the devil fruit, the negative effect of not being able to go to the sea is obtained. Will's brain is working fast. After thinking for a moment, he feels that this idea is very likely. No matter what. The counterattack is over. Will looked at the antidote of level 10 in his hand, and his heart was made up. Fight. If you die, there will be nothing. He threw it directly at the feet of the three guys on the opposite side. The potion fell to the ground with a bang and shattered. A large amount of powder floated out of it. Soon all three of them inhaled a small amount of powder. He covered his nose and coughed. What is it? Smoke bomb. Do you think you are a decoration for your brother's eyes? But at this time, the three people who were coughing suddenly felt an unusual fluctuation. Chapter 2: The Deer's Call. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Among the three people, the two guys who took the animal devil fruit actually started to change their bodies. Brother Chicken's beak disappeared first, and the guy who didn't know what kind of bird he was also began to look like a human again. Both of them looked at each other in horror. What's wrong with you? Why have you all turned into humans? The guy with the furry fruit looked at them in confusion. I don't know what the two of them are doing. You think I want it? My ability is gone. Brother G was the first to retort. The man was stunned when he heard this, and quickly tried his hair-making ability. Really? I can't even make one. It's here. The three of them looked at her at the same time. The expressions on their faces were extremely horrified. What a means. This guy. This guy. He actually has the ability to eliminate devil fruits. In all our lives, we have never heard of such a thing. It's incredible. Chopper on the side also saw this scene in a daze. There was also an expression of disbelief on his face. Who are you? How can there be such a god in this country? Brother Chicken roared with a look of horror on his face. Just a few seconds. All three of our devil fruits have been wiped out. This is simply appalling to the extreme. We are now a little afraid to act rashly. After all, people who can do this kind of thing are definitely not as simple as they seem. Seeing them like this, was secretly glad in his heart. Fortunately, the bet was right, but I don't dare to act rashly now. Do you think you are experts? But are you a master? Obviously not. Then pretend to be an expert. See if you can scare these guys off. Just about to open. Ding, congratulations to the host for getting 80 negative points. The system voice sounded. That's when I remembered my own system. I also have a system all. Now that you have the points, delay for a while and see if there is anything life-saving. On the surface, Still had his hands behind his back and looked at the three people opposite him with a sanctimonious look. If you are like this, if I wave my hand casually, you will be wiped out in ashes. That I had already opened the system mall behind my back, and my mind was spinning very fast. His eyes kept scanning over the dazzling array of items, looking for something that can be used now. After all, is an ordinary person now. What if the three guys on the opposite side lose their fruits? I am an ordinary person in the pirate world. Can you judge it with common sense? What's more, if there are three fighting one, I can't be manipulated casually. I can rely on the system. The three people on the opposite side also trembled in fright when they heard what said, completely wiped out. Real or fake? They looked at each other. How about it, do you want to withdraw? There's no need for us to risk our lives for those bastards, right? Mau Mau Fruit said to Brother Chicken. Brother Chicken is the leader of the gang. Even though he wants to turn around and leave, the boss will definitely skin him after he leaves. What are you going to do? I think is bluffing. It's in my chicken brother's dictionary. There is no retreat. After hearing what's said, the other two people put their foreheads with one hand. This guy is good at everything, but his brain is not right. It's just a few dollars a day. What are you trying to do with your life? Keep an eye on it. Be ready at any time. At this time, we finally found an item in the mall that made us eyes shine. Effective medicine for nourishing blood, nourishing kidneys, restoring light and returning light, and treating injuries. Price, 80 negative points. This is the first purchase price for newcomers. The original price is 20W. Note, newcomer status is only available within 3 minutes after obtaining the system power. It can treat most body injuries. The injected person will be instantly refreshed. Even if the person is about to die, he will temporarily gain the ability to move. Note, this item cannot be stored and will lose its effect if not used for 3 minutes. Give this thing to Chopper. Wouldn't it be easy to deal with these three ordinary people in front of him? Although this thing looks quite precious, if you don't use it now, you won't be able to buy it later. It was obvious that the three people on the opposite side couldn't help but attack him, so they had to shock them again. You actually doubted me. Watch carefully. I'll show you a creation from space. Although Wire is now so embarrassed that he can dig his feet into the 3 bedrooms and 1 living room, but were still said confidently. These words made the three people on the opposite side stop hesitating. Creating something from the air. How is it possible? You haven't even eaten a devil fruit, how can you create something from the air? Brother G looked unbelieving. The same is true for the other two people. Boy, don't earn it. But right now. An injection suddenly appeared in Weir's hand. This sudden scene. All three people's eyes widened. This. How is this possible? How could it be possible to create this thing out of thin air? Injection. An injection? If it was an injection, people wouldn't be surprised. That injection is a little too big. Will was now carrying the injection that was taller and thicker than himself, a look of collapse. What is this? What is this? Why is it different from what is shown in the mall? Isn't there just a small one in the mall? And how can I enlarge it? Since it's so big, you should write a note. Wouldn't you be cheating if you just put it in like this? What a broken system. Do you want to do this? Fortunately, it appeared out of thin air. If this fell from above, we dared to say that he would definitely be pierced. This thing is so heavy. Veer moved it, flushed. How is it? Is it enough? Double said with a trembling face. The words were almost squeezed out from between the teeth. Although the other three were surprised by S. methods, they looked at S. trembling hands and his red face. The suspicion in his eyes did not weaken. Isn't he weak? Is he trying to fool us? That the other guy from Bird Fruit was also a little suspicious at this time. When we saw this, he knew he couldn't hide it anymore. This system is really a scam. I simply put down the injection, looking at the three of them, pointed at Chopper and said, "This guy has ruined your good deeds. You must kill him, right? Now that you have no ability, it should be quite difficult to kill him. How about I help you?" After Veer finished speaking, he immediately picked up the thick injection and walked towards Chopper. When the three heard this, they also felt that what this guy said made sense. Now that our abilities have just disappeared, we feel that our strength has become much smaller. This kid hasn't been killed yet. Save some effort if you can. But this guy is our target. Why should you help us? Are you trying to save us by helping us? Chopper looked at Will, who was coming. It cracked. It really cracked. Brother. I saved you. Why did you turn around and stab me to death? That terrifyingly thick needle scared Chopper to the point of wetting his diaper. But now, it can't even speak. In its heart, it has already regretted it 10,000 times. How could I save such a thing? If I had known this guy was so bad, let alone save him, I would have kicked him hard on the head. Ding, congratulations to the host for getting 100 negative points. Chopper alone gave so much. It seems that the amount of this thing is related to the person. While thinking about it, Will kept moving his hands. The thick needle stuck directly into Chopper's butt. Ouch! Ouch! The roar of a deer instantly spread throughout the cave. Chopper yelled at the pain. This time, I almost pierced it. It really wanted to escape, but couldn't. But it's not over yet. We still have to push, and we can't get in without pushing the medicine. Chopper, who was in terrible pain, looked at Will jumping up with a look of horror on his face, grasped the back of the injection. Will's weight was just enough for the shot to begin its slow descent. As we moved down, Chopper's entire deer looked a little plumper. When all the potion was injected, Chopper was obviously fatter. Chopper. This is a healing potion. How do you feel now? Feel. Chopper, who was in a daze and was about to die, also looked at Will with confusion. At this time, it really felt like its injuries were beginning to recover. The constant flow of blood has also stopped. Even the injuries have healed. It was originally weak, but now it felt like it could stand up. Window, _Tabula equals window, _Tabula dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, Tabula below article feed, placement, below article feed, target _type, mix. Chapter 3 Become a Disciple. You want to be my disciple? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining the ability, leg strengthening. Leg strengthening. After use, the leg strength can be instantly enhanced. The three brothers outside finally reacted at this time. Why is this guy so kind? That thing can't be used for treatment. Although it looks scary, it is an injection after all. The possibility of using the injection to save people is simply too great. The three of them couldn't bear it immediately. Can't wait any longer. Go, that the three strong men rushed over with a roar, as if they were going to tear Will apart. Seeing this, Will also raised the empty injection, the thick needle also pointed at the three people. But the three guys have been hanging out for years and have a tacit understanding. One person stepped forward and grabbed the needle directly, the other two came from the left and right. The situation is very bad. Chopper! Will shouted. As soon as the voice fell, an elk with huge antlers rushed over. Will used his leg enhancement to jump high. Chopper just lowered his head. The two cooperated very smoothly. He landed steadily on Chopper's back, but the three brothers on the opposite side had no way to hide. The cave was only this big, the antlers were almost unable to be used. Looking at the elk galloping over, the three were all in disbelief. Aren't you going to die? How could you still move? Only you know how hard we hit him just now and how badly Chopper was injured, but what's going on now? Chopper won't pay attention to us. Galloping over, the antlers hit the three people directly. The three people who were originally strong, after becoming ordinary people, could not be Chopper's opponents at all. There was a loud bang. Three people, not one less. Neatly, all were knocked out. The powerful force even made them disappear from Will's sight very quickly. They flew very high. Looking at the three people who disappeared, Will finally breathed a sigh of relief. I'm alive, Will said while lying on Chopper's back. Chopper. Thanks to Chopper again. Don't worry. Wait for me to become successful. And during this operation, although Will didn't use much force, he just moved the injection, but I still felt a little tired. My body is still too weak. Ding, congratulations to the host, you have obtained 60 negative points. The system also sounded again at this time. TSK. Just now, the system identified us as my patients for my treatment. Now that I was blown away, the fear of the emotion actually gave me so many negative points. Only patients have negative points, including what Chopper did just now. He has 160 negative points in his deposit. He should be able to exchange for something good. The injection just now, although it is very effective, is too large for most people to handle. It won't work if it is not injected completely. That thing shouldn't be like this originally. It looks fine in the mall. Is it the newbie price? You get what you pay for. At this moment, Chopper, feeling his fully recovered injuries, also felt incredible. The potion just now was scary, and the injection process was also very uncomfortable, but the effect is simply amazing. He has never seen such a powerful potion, and this potion was made out of thin air by that person. It's so big. It's so big. How did he do it? Chopper now feels scared when he thinks of the huge needle. His butt is still burning. Although the hole made by the pill disappeared, the hole in its heart will definitely remain for a lifetime, and there is the medicine that can make the devil fruit disappear. Chopper recognized it at a glance. It was a bottle of powder that can make the devil fruit power disappear. This is beyond Chopper's cognition. Originally, after seeing the power of the powder, it worshipped Will. But when Will said that he wanted to kill it, Chopper's worship of him completely disappeared. But when it learned that it was the potion that saved it, and the effect of this potion was so powerful, Chopper began to worship Will again, and even more. Feeling the breath of the man on his back, Chopper was a little shy. It was originally shy. This time it saved Will because it felt that this person was a little special. I didn't expect it to be so powerful. Ding, congratulations to the host for getting 30 negative points. What's going on? Why is there another one? Who is getting scared again? Will looked around for a while with some confusion. He found that there was indeed no one around. What happened? Is it Chopper again? What's going on? Does being scared count? Is it because of the needle just now? Dear, does it hurt you just now? That Will immediately tried it. As soon as he finished speaking, Chopper's face immediately became ugly again. The hole that had just been covered was opened by Will again. Not bad. Ding, congratulations to the host for getting 10 negative points. The negative points provided repeatedly by the same event and the same person will be greatly reduced, as expected. Although I am afraid of the aftermath, it is getting less and less. It seems that the first wave is the most useful. Thinking of this, Will also thought about his next life. Are you a doctor? Chopper asked weakly at this time, thinking about his next life. Will was stunned. Doctor? I am at best a veterinarian. the doctor's words seemed a little inappropriate, but when he turned back to meet Chopper's admiring eyes, he swallowed the words that were on his lips. Since I have a magic doctor system, it is only a matter of time before I become a doctor, right? Yes, I am a doctor. Will also said with a serious face. Then, did you mix those medicines yourself? Chopper asked weakly, and Will was still thinking about the amount and pattern of the negative points he had just obtained. This is an important support for future development. Hearing Chopper's words, he answered casually. Of course, those are just things I made when I was free. They are all inferior things. I just use them to deal with these minions. After saying that, he continued to fall into deep thought. Just now, the three trash gave 80 negative points at the beginning. Chopper gave more than the three of us, but Chopper was beaten to pieces by us not long ago. When he treated the three of us, we still had devil fruits, so, strength should not be a hard condition for obtaining this negative point. What is that? Will was lost in thought, but Chopper was a little choked. Just made for fun. Inferior? Such a powerful potion turned into something inferior in Will's mouth. How strong is he? This simply shattered Chopper's view of doctors. Chopper's mouth was also swollen in an O shape. This person. Definitely the best doctor in the world. There is no way anyone can be better than him. At this time, Chopper's ambition, Chopper's dream, and Hiraluk's obsession all began to play tricks on Chopper's heart. It wants to learn from this person. It wants to make a panacea. It wants to be the best doctor. It wants to be the pride of Doriel. Please accept me as your apprentice. I want to learn to make potions from you. Chopper shouted loudly with determination, but its sudden shouting scared Will. Will, who came back to his senses, was a little stunned. What are you doing? Why did you suddenly become a disciple? Accept Chopper as your apprentice? I don't know how to make potions at all, was about to refuse, but looking at Chopper who looked hopeful, suddenly thought of something, suddenly thought of whether the pattern of obtaining negative points is related to the character. Tried to ask the system. Unexpectedly, the system really gave an answer. Ding! Important figures in the One Piece world, related to the person with the destiny, will obtain more negative points. The stronger the character is, the more negative points they will obtain. Sure enough. The system's answer was indeed as Will expected. This person with the destiny is, as expected, Luffy. There is no problem with this. After all, people who are related to the protagonist are important figures. In that case, can only maximize the benefits by joining the Straw Hat Pirates. Not only can you harvest the crew's abilities, all the people you meet along the way are people who are related to Luffy. It's a good idea to treat the negative points. It's definitely much better than working alone. This rule of the system directly forces you to be tied to the Straw Hat Pirates. You must join the Straw Hat Pirates. Luffy and the others are going to the island tomorrow, but you don't know where they are coming from. The Drum Kingdom is so big, and you really have no idea where to find it, but Will knows that they will go to Chopper to find a doctor to treat Nami. If you go there, won't you be able to meet them? When the time comes, you will go out and directly heal Nami, and then help Luffy and Sanji. Remember that you are also injured. Then, through the ability you have pulled from behind, you can help you defeat that guy Walpo, and it is only natural for you to join the Straw Hat Pirates. You can also be Chopper's enlightenment mentor. Our future will be bright. Chapter 4 Panic Deer. You are listening at novelfull.audio. As long as he joins the Straw Hats, he will definitely become stronger by leaps and bounds. They are bound to get hurt. The injury must be treated. When the time comes, pinch, 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 each of them was treated obediently. As long as the people being treated have psychological shadows, I can still gain abilities from them, which makes me invincible. Once injured, heal once. Each treatment is different, make them shaded every time. Maybe even Nika fruits will be able to be collected by then. Although he felt that the fruit was useless, thinking of this, it doesn't seem impossible to accept Chopper as his disciple. Although I don't have medical skills now, I have a system. What's not in the system? As long as there are negative points, Lingbo Zero Big Cucumber can give you a whole ship, just mixing potions. It's just casual, okay? Thinking of this, Will immediately agreed to Chopper's request. Well, since you sincerely want to become my teacher, then I will accept you. I hope you will study hard in the future. Hearing this, Xiaoba was very happy. It said thank you with a smile on its face. Thank you. Thank you so much. I will definitely work hard. I won't let Master down. By the way, I'm Chopper. I don't want any more Master, just me, Brother Weir. Okay. Brother Will, everyone is happy, Chopper is also happy, and so is Veer. Both guys were having a good time. Chopper. Brother, I don't have a place to stay right now. How about staying at your house for one night? At this time, Weir also revealed his purpose with a smirk on his face. Chopper was a little hesitant when he heard this. It's really hard to say whether it's suitable for the big brother to stay at Dr. Dolly's place. After all, the doctor's wife has a bad temper. There had never been a stranger in their house. The teacher I just became is leaving my eldest brother to sleep on the street. Will the eldest brother be disappointed in himself? Will he drive himself away directly? Will this be big brother's test for himself? This is really very powerful. After all, there is an observation period after becoming a disciple. Thinking of this, Chopper also agreed to come. Of course. I'll take my eldest brother to my house right now. Okay, this is my test for you. You are indeed a Jew. Veer smiled evilly. Chopper, who was praised, actually shook his body and threw him away. Once it is praised, it will twist its body involuntarily. Caught off guard, Weir flew straight up. It's not that great, it's just so. Chopper looked like this, leaving Will speechless for a while. This joke can be posted anytime, anywhere. At this time, Chopper found Will on the ground. Brother, why are you sitting on the ground? The ground is cold, don't catch a cold. Weir had a headache, so he held his forehead and stood up. He turned over and sat on Chopper's back again. I'm old, my legs and feet are not good, I accidentally fell. It's okay, it's getting late, let's set off quickly. Weir didn't blame Chopper, he just said that his legs and feet were not good. Hearing that Will said that his legs and feet were not good, Chopper also silently remembered it. My eldest brother has bad legs and feet. I will have to let him walk less and carry him more often. Thinking like this, Chopper also let go of his legs and started running. Go home. This kid Chopper, why have you been gone for so long? It's already dark, he must be having fun again, right? I have to talk about it when I get back. A fashionably dressed woman was pacing back and forth in the living room. There was also a worried look on his face. Although she said this, she was already worried to death in her heart. I usually come back early, but now it's so late and there's still no news. I must have encountered some accident. After waiting for a while, she couldn't sit still anymore. He stood up, grabbed a thick coat, and prepared to go out to look for Chopper. That child is so stupid that it will break down if someone abducts it. Just when she opened the door, a deer face appeared at the door. One deer leg even made a gesture of getting ready to knock on the door. Chopper was startled when he saw the door open. Duo, Dr. Duo liar. Chopper's tone was trembling. Swallowed hard. After all, Dr. Dolly's fighting power is still very fierce. Chopper was often thrown by her with a bunch of axes. At this time, he came back so late and brought a stranger with him. It doesn't know what kind of ending it will face. I thought it wouldn't be too good. What are you doing? Come back so late. If you ask me to wait for you so late again, don't come back. Dr. Dory had an angry look on her face, angrily scolding Chopper for returning late. I went to save people. Chopper said weakly. The whole deer looked extremely scared. What? Who are you saving? Are you injured? How many times have I told you? You must not use medical skills without my permission. Why don't you listen to me? She was very annoyed and criticized Chopper's behavior, but while speaking, she checked Chopper's body, see if it has any injuries. She looked at her but suddenly stopped because she found a young man standing not far away. Who are you? What do you want to do here so late? Dolly looked at Weir with a vigilant face. She said in a bad tone. Dolly. He saved my life today. He is my lifesaver. Joba saw her vigilance towards Weir and hurriedly explained. What? Save you? What's wrong with you? I was injured by the bad guys chasing him when I saved him. He saved me. And, can he stay at our house for one night? Joba explained, but what he said made Dolly angry. You saved him. Why did you save him? And you want to stay for one night? No. Let him leave quickly. Otherwise, you will get out with him. As she spoke, she walked inside, looking at Joba who was begging outside the door. She didn't sympathize with him at all. She was about to close the door. Chopper is a good kid in every way, except that he is too compassionate. Let him think about it outside the door this time. Don't bring everyone back. Thinking of this, she was about to close the door. Suddenly, bang, that the sound of something opening was heard. She was very familiar with this sound. She immediately looked at the source of the sound. I saw that Will was holding an open bottle of Fétien Matai with a smile on his face. The rich aroma of wine came out the moment it was opened. It soon drifted into Dory's nose. She had a look of disappointment on her face, but now she immediately changed her expression. There was even a look of intoxication on her face, as an older beautiful girl who loves to drink. This smell is simply too attractive to her. There were even tears at the corners of her mouth. Chapter 5 How Can You Compete with a Deer? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chopper really couldn't do it. He had to take action himself. This bottle of Fétien Matai is still not for you to handle. This beautiful girl, can you let me stay here for one night? In return, this bottle of wine will be yours. Vale also said it at the right time. After hearing what he said, Dr. Dolly smiled unconsciously on her face. Although this kid is a bit naive and actually favors Chopper, he still has a sweet mouth, very good at being a person. Humph, you are quite good at talking. In this case, I will force you to stay in the living room for one night. Remember. It's only for one night. Dr. Dory had a stern look on her face, and after saying that, she pulled Chopper in. When Veer saw this, he followed closely. After entering, Veer was also surprised by the spacious house. Okay. I really didn't think much of it when I was watching the anime, but I realized the difference after experiencing it myself. Various firearms and knives are hung on the walls, and the floor is also covered with bearskin carpets. The fireplace in the living room was constantly glowing, and there were cold meals on the table. Put that bottle of wine on the table here for me. I'll take a shower and go to bed. You two can do whatever you want. Dr. Dory pointed to a table at the door of the bathroom and said to Weir. After saying that, she turned around and entered the bathroom. Only Will and Chopper were left in the living room. Chopper, put the wine over. Will said to Chopper, who was a little unhappy on the side. It is still afraid that brother will blame itself for not doing so. At this time, hearing this, he quickly took the wine bottle from Weir's hand and walked over in a hurry, put it on the table, then he walked back in a hurry. At this time, Weir was no longer in its sight. When it was confused, it saw a figure sitting in front of the dining table. Eat the food on the table happily. Chopper finally reacted at this time. Brother pushed me away just to steal its meal. Evil. So bad. Chopper trotted and jumped directly to the dining table, and started grabbing food with Will. Brother, you are so bad. How can you steal the deer's food? This is for the deer to eat, that he complained while grabbing Chopper. I'm almost starving to death, no matter who eats it. It's what we'll eat that goes into my stomach, that Will said vaguely as he devoured his food. Two people, you take a bite and I take a bite, how sweet it is. It's just that Chopper can't get it. How solid Weir's mat-eating skills are is beyond the imagination of a little deer like him. Soon Will was full and burped with satisfaction. I'm full. I'm going. Patting his belly, Will stood up and sat on the sofa. The depressed Chopper was left sitting alone at the table. Chopper. Go get a blanket for me. Will ordered Chopper again. Chopper, who was already angry because he didn't have enough to eat, turned his back to Weir angrily when he heard Weir's words. It looked like it didn't want to pay attention to anyone. Brother will teach you medical skills tomorrow. Chopper, who was sitting down, suddenly bounced his butt violently. He trotted off to find a blanket for Will. While running, he shouted, "Okay. Thank you, brother. Isn't it just that I haven't eaten enough? It doesn't matter if I skip a meal, Mr. Chiao, I can bend and stretch." If I tell you to get it, I'll get it for you. Seeing this, Will couldn't help but laugh. Chopper's appearance was really funny, no wonder it can be used as a mascot. At this time, Will also started to visit the mall. Luffy and the others would arrive tomorrow, and he had to find a way to cure Nami's fever. You have to save people, but you also have to have psychological shadow. This is really not a good choice. Special medicine for fever. Price, 1,000. So expensive. Will continue to scroll down. Special medicine for fever. Price, 20. The two names are exactly the same. Why are the prices so different? He opened his eyes and carefully observed the difference between the two. He soon discovered the clues. The one priced at 20 seems to cost hundreds of millions of points more than the one priced at 1,000, just a few 100 million points. I wonder if Nami can finish eating. Forget it, this definitely won't work. If it were Luffy, he would definitely redeem it without hesitation. That guy could finish the meal. But Nami might as well forget it. He continued to scroll down. Devil fruit. Replicator. Price, 200W. Antidote, LV 99. Price, 210W. Famous Sword Commander. Price, 1000W. This really has everything. He also saw the antidote that he threw out. The price is actually as high as 210W. He was extremely heartbroken at this moment, but there was nothing he could do. System. Can the item be recycled? Double wanted to hear whether the system was working, but also wanted to hear whether it was working or not. I feel extremely conflicted. No. Hearing this, we breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately it cannot be recycled, otherwise I would have really lost 210W. After searching for a long time but not finding it, we discovered that there was a search button. After he clicked in, he typed in the word fever. Soon, a pile of items appeared below. Among them was the special medicine he had just seen. In addition, there were, Instant recovery potion. Price, 80W. Special medicine that can cure diseases. Price, 50W. Why are they so expensive? I just want to cure a fever. And just at this moment, Will's eyes suddenly lit up, and an introduction appeared in his sight. Medical Technique Master Ability. Price, 199. Introduction. It allows the user to obtain treatment methods for various common diseases. This ability comes with a shabby medical box. Evaluation, good quality and low price, worth having. Shabby medical box. Take out any props you want from it. Note, this item greatly increases the probability of psychological shadows in patients. Huh? What the hell? What did I see? Is this normal? This is simply a magical tool. It has all the god-level functions. Space medical box. It also greatly increases the probability of shadow. It's amazing. I was still thinking about how to make Nami have a psychological shadow, and now such a god-level item has come directly. That's it. It's absolutely right that it's good quality and cheap. This is what Will needs. Without hesitation, he exchanged it immediately. A lot of knowledge appeared in his mind, all of which were treatment methods for various diseases and potion preparation. That's right, there is also potion preparation. He even gave away potion preparation, which is really great. Fever. At this time, it seemed to him that it was too simple. Okay. At this time, a medical box suddenly appeared in Will's hand. It was just that the medical box was a little tattered. He couldn't wait to open this box that looked a little ordinary. He took out props one by one from it. Scalpels, bandages, tweezers, pliers, needles and even an electric saw. These things didn't seem strange to him. Why would there be a psychological shadow probability? Will was puzzled. Ding, congratulations to the host for getting a negative value. Chapter 6, The Deer Runs Wild. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What's going on? Which patient is shivering again? Will looked up and glanced around, and sure enough he saw Xiao Ding holding a blanket in his hand, looking at the utensils he was holding with a look of horror. The little face was extremely pale at this time, and the pupils were trembling violently, as if he was about to cry at any time. What's wrong, Joe? Give me the blanket. Why are you so dazed? That were also asked in confusion. He also turned to look at the utensils he was holding. After taking a closer look this time, I didn't find any problems. Even where had already licked the shiny scalpel in front of him, no problems were found. Why is Joe staring here in horror? Bite. Congratulations to the host for getting 100 negative points. Ah. Come again. No, Joe, you get scared too easily, right? I'll just lick the knife, and you'll give me another 100. Can you please respect the value of negative points? At this time, in the eyes of Kaio, those things in were not what Weil saw. What Chowda saw was a rusty and bloody scalpel, a moldy and smelly bandage, black-smelling forceps, a tetanus needle, and a chainsaw with minced meat. In a huge living room, a man was sitting on the sofa, taking these things one by one. This is simply not too scary, okay? Please have fun killing the deer. Never save the deer. Make the deer's death easier. Just when it was so frightened that it wanted to run to Dr. Doriel for warmth, when the weir in front of it actually took the rusty and bloody scalpel and took a hard sip. There was also some blood stains and rusty rust on the corners of Will's mouth. The weir in front of him looked like a serial perverted murderer at this moment. I was so scared that I couldn't hold back my tears immediately. Joe, bring the blanket. At this time, Will looked back at Chowda, and the terrifying look of slowly turning his head made Chowda couldn't stand it anymore. He threw the blanket in his hand at Will, yelled and ran into Dr. Dory's bedroom. Stumbling along the way, Vale performed a wave of deer bumps. After finally getting in, the door slammed shut. Ah! Kill me if you don't. Kill me if you don't. Venison doesn't taste good. Help! That it shouted as it ran. It was so frightening that I was scared out of my wits. The function of this thing is that the contents inside will automatically add a layer of horror filter to other people's eyes, but in Veryl's eyes, those things are what they are. Hi. Why is this Chow making such a fuss every day? He hasn't even seen the most basic medical equipment. Do they usually use potions? That will held the blanket thrown by Chowda and said with a speechless expression, Ding, congratulations to the host for getting 50 negative points. There is still one. Damn it, what happened to this Chow? It almost allowed me to achieve freedom from negative points. What is it afraid of? Weir, who was puzzled, also put away those props. He took the blanket and lay down on the sofa. Just visiting the mall gave him a general idea of what was inside. There is nothing in it that directly improves his strength. They are all auxiliary things. It seems that as improves his strength, he can find a way to save people. If he wants to become the strongest, he still has a long way to go. He doesn't have any ideals. He just wants to live a good life and not be killed by others. The world of pirates is still very dangerous. Only by becoming stronger can you have the confidence to live. Let's save up these negative points first. Anyway, it cannot be exchanged for things related to strength. Everything is almost ready, waiting for Luffy and the others to arrive tomorrow. Thinking like this, Weir also slowly fell into sleep, and found that it was already very late. Early the next morning, there was a commotion in Dr. Dolly's room. It woke Veer even through the bedroom door. He opened his eyes because he didn't have enough sleep, yawned and looked in the direction of the sound. At this time, the door over there happened to be opened. Along with a burst of curses, something was pushed violently inside. You're so old. I have to go to the bathroom with you. Are you embarrassed? Let me go by myself. Don't disturb my beauty sleep. I can't forgive you for making my floor dirty. Then there was the sound of a door slamming. Liu Xiao was standing outside the door shivering alone. It was so scared at this time that it secretly glanced at Weir, praying that he would not be awakened. Looking at it, Will's eyes just met. Good morning, Joe. Will said calmly. As he spoke, he yawned again. It seems that he has regained the approachable appearance in Xiao Da's impression. Xiao Dawei, who was a little unsure at this time, kept scanning his body, trying to confirm whether he was in danger. Although Will looks good now, he still doesn't dare to relax, a vigilant look on his face. Can I accompany you to the bathroom? That Will spoke again. He didn't expect Xiao Da to be so timid and need someone to accompany him to the toilet, but he didn't dislike it, because this little guy was the main source of his negative points. He stood up and walked directly to Xiao, took his dear hand and walked to the toilet. Did I see it wrong yesterday? Having a hallucination? Xiao also began to think uncertainly. Looking at Weir's appearance, he finally let down his guard and became one with Weir again. I have to say, you really can't guess what Xiaolu is thinking. At this time, at the foot of the mountain, a guy wearing a straw hat was climbing up the mountain wall. On his back was a beautiful woman with a rosy cheek, and in his mouth was a man who was seriously injured by an avalanche. We're above looked at the sky and felt that it was almost there, and Luffy should be there too. You just need to wait and see. Chowda and the others didn't know Luffy, so they just took over and rescued him. He pulled Chow to the window, looked at the cliff over there. It's just a matter of waiting for the rabbit. How can you do it yourself? Right? Chow, the most important thing for a doctor is his good eyesight. He always sees a doctor first, right? So now, you squat here and look at the cliff over there. Exercise your eyesight. Only when your eyesight improves can I teach you medical skills. Will fooled Xiao in a serious manner, and Xiao listened seriously. He even took a small notebook and wrote down exactly what were just said. Okay. Okay, big brother. I will definitely train hard. I won't let you down. Yeah. Rosie teaches. Patting Xiao on the shoulder, Will said with satisfaction. The encouraged Chowda looked excited. The two bosses staring unblinkingly at the vast white world ahead. I was thinking that I should behave well in front of Big Brother. At this time, Will was sitting in front of the burning fireplace with his legs crossed, drinking hot tea and reading the newspaper. Well, that's right, they were all brought by Chowda. I just ate the Meiji that Xiao made for him. Don't tell me, it was quite delicious. He also put one in his medical kit. Be prepared to wait until you are hungry before eating. His medical kit can also be filled with items, and there is no limit to the quantity. It's simply a space prop, a real-life storage ring. At this moment, Xiao, who was staring at the cliff, let out an exclamation. Oh brother! Something is moving over there. Window, _Tabula equals window, _Tabula, _Tabula. Push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, Tabula, below, article, thumbnail, 300x250, placement, below article thumbnail, 300x250, target _type, mix. Chapter 7. It's time to show real medical skills. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Veer jumped to his feet. Without hesitation, he ran quickly towards the door. Come with me quickly. The test subject is here. As a teacher, it's time to show off your true medical skills. Watch carefully. I will only teach you once. Will opened the door and walked out, leaving only Chopper behind. Chopper looked at Will's back, his eyes already full of admiration. He is so handsome. I'm coming. Wait for me, boss. He jumped down from the window and chased after him. At this time, Luffy was already exhausted, and his whole body was shaking from overexertion. The hands and feet were bleeding more and more, and the flesh and skin had already been worn out. The bones are faintly exposed, looking quite scary. To be honest, this is the first time Will has seen Luffy's bones. He thought this thing didn't grow on Luffy. Nami and G also rolled aside. One had a high fever and the other was unconscious. When Veer saw this situation, he immediately squatted down and checked Nami's condition. Because of the knowledge in his mind, he could tell at a glance that this was definitely no ordinary fever. He rolled his eyelids, felt his pulse, and looked at his face, and he was sure what the disease was. I still had a fever, but it was because I was bitten by a poisonous insect called a firebug. Without treatment, the situation will get worse. There is no treatment method for this situation in the medical skill that I redeemed. Without hesitation, he picked up Nami and ran towards the house. At the same time, he quickly browsed the mall, but this scene left Chopper, who was following behind, stunned for a moment. Hey! Brother, did you forget something? There are people over there. Chopper's eyes kept switching between Will and Luffy, who was lying on the ground and seemed to be unconscious. He looked at a loss. Just let them get involved. Leave them alone. These two guys will wake up in a while. Veer, who had already entered the room, answered casually, Is it so casual? Chopper was a little confused, but he also slowly dragged Luffy and G in obediently. At this time, Will had already put Nami on the sofa. He also covered her with his own blanket. Seeing Chopper come in, he said without even looking at him, Put them two in the fireplace, and they will wake up when they get warm. Chopper also obediently dragged the two of them over. Okay. Will's eyes passed over the wide variety of items used to treat the condition. Just start with the cheapest one. Expensive ones are a waste of time. he now only has the 250 negative points provided by Chopper yesterday, and his purchase is quite limited. Heat dissipation, price, 20, direct pass, this kind of thing must be from the underworld. Now that Nami is in a coma, there is no way she can take it. He had to find something that didn't require Nami to pay. Time passed by second, and soon even those two guys woke up. They all looked around in confusion, only Weir stood motionless in front of him. And Nami lying on the sofa, although confused, Luffy did not forget the purpose of his hard work to get here. Hello. My companion, she will die soon. Do you have a doctor here? Can you treat her? Luffy looked at Veer sincerely and said, but Will, who was concentrating on finding a solution, had no time to pay attention to him. Seeing this, Gigi thought that Luffy only said that he wanted people to do things but did not mention the reward. He ignored them. He also hurriedly added, don't worry. As long as we can save Na-me-san, we will give you the consultation fee. Please also ask the doctor here to come out quickly. G also had the same expression. They all valued Nami's situation very much. Praying to a stranger in a low voice, Weir remained motionless after hearing this. Just when they thought this man was deaf, Chopper on the side couldn't stand it anymore. Stop arguing. My master is thinking about how to save people. He is right here. No, he is the most powerful doctor in the world. The two of them didn't see Chopper, but after hearing the voice, they looked at Will differently. Can such a young man really have superb medical skills? Zai couldn't help but be a little suspicious, but Luffy doesn't care about that much. Really? Thank you so much. Please also find a way to save Nami. She is my important partner. At this time, Chopper looked annoyed, and finally couldn't help but jump out from the depression of the armrest of the sofa. He stood in front of the two of them. I told you that my master is thinking. Can you please stop arguing? Chopper was originally very afraid of strangers, but now he actually dared to talk to two strangers like this. All this is just because Vale is here and he is full of confidence. Dear. Talking reindeer? Hey. Really talking reindeer? What's going on? Lying aside, Luffy, who was extremely weak, stared at the talking reindeer. The mouth is also long. He was starving to death. Tears of dissatisfaction shed from the corner of his mouth. Meat. Venison. Just as he was about to take action, he saw Weir moving in front of him. I saw Will take out his medical kit from the side of the sofa, open the lid and put his hand in. Master has found a way. Chopper shouted happily. Oh. Really? Great. Nami is saved. Luffy and G were also overjoyed. They all looked at Will excitedly, watching his every move closely. Even Luffy temporarily gave up the idea of biting Chopper. Nami's situation can be understood as poisoning, bitten by a poisonous insect, causing a fever. Will exchanged a magical thing in the mall at this time. Detoxification pickaxe, price, 180, function. This thing can be hit on the patient to slowly dispel the negative effects of poisoning. Picture details of the pickaxe, dispelling the negative effects of poisoning. Isn't this the crisis of Nami now? This thing is not expensive. Generally, the price of things in the underworld will be dozens of times cheaper than the normal version. The detoxification pickaxe has been sent to the worn-out medical box. You can use it as soon as you take it out. Will no longer hesitated, and immediately took out his medical box and reached into it. He slowly took out the pickaxe that seemed shiny to him, but at this time, from the perspective of the other three people, Will took out a strange thing with the skin of a killer. The thing was full of blood, and Will just held it in his hand. His hands were also covered with blood. And the sharp pickaxe head was hung with some small pieces of meat and a small amount of messy hair. It looked like someone had just used this thing to smash someone's head. Blood was still dripping from the pickaxe head. A large amount of negative emotions was detected. At this time, the system prompt popped up. This abrupt voice made Will slightly stunned. He also looked at the three people who were watching him. What? Why do I have negative emotions every time I take something out of it? But because they don't treat their own patients, there are no negative points to take. Are these people afraid of pickaxes? He used to work in the fields with pickaxes when he was a child. Why are people in the pirate world all like young masters? They are afraid of everything. Chapter 8 I'll prove it to you. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At the beginning, the Horn had no choice but to explain to others and add Chopper's experiment. Chopper, what? Where's the dragon deer? Then he was directly punished. You can refer to killing a pig. Although he looked down on them, Will didn't stop his actions and swung the pickaxe to smash them. Hey! Suddenly, a loud shout came. Luffy used all his strength and shouted loudly. The loud sound immediately spread throughout the house. Even Will was startled. He also stopped his actions. He looked at Luffy, who spoke. What do you want to do? Are you going to kill my companions? If so, kill me first. Luffy, no, it should be said that everyone who saw this scene would think that Will wanted to kill someone. After all, the appearance of the pickaxe was too terrifying. It's obviously something that is meant to kill people. It's not surprising that Luffy would do such a thing. Will also felt that something was wrong with him. It seems that he should explain it first. Misunderstanding is too normal. After all, he is holding a foreign pickaxe, but he didn't expect that. Luffy was so powerful when he shouted just now. He thought Luffy had awakened the Conqueror's Haki. Don't be afraid of this healing stage, I won't hurt her. Will also explained at this time, but before Luffy could reply, there was a bang of the door opening in the house. At the same time, a female voice sounded at the same time. What a joke. It's full of nonsense. What kind of treatment is this? I've lived for more than 100 years and have never heard of it. Where did you learn it? Dolly was also awakened by Luffy's shouting just now. She was forced to interrupt her beauty sleep. As soon as she came out, she saw Will holding a blood-stained pickaxe and telling Luffy about the treatment. She had a good impression of Will, but she immediately felt that this person was not a good person. She even heard Chopper talking about this master. This time, she must let her see the true face of this guy so that she can stop associating with him in the future. Brother will not lie. He is very powerful. Chopper was still trying his best to defend Will, but no one paid any attention to him. This is my own creation. It can cure all kinds of poisons in the world. I've seen it. This girl will have a high fever after being bitten by a poisonous insect. As long as I beat her 77 to 19 times, she will definitely recover as before. That were also frowned slightly at this time. The situation seemed a little bad. These people don't believe him, although this is normal, but this will ruin his plan. Impossible. This kind of thing will only kill people. How can it save people? Dr. Dolly still looked like she was determined to expose him, and shouted at Will angrily, but there was some doubt in her heart. This guy was right. This girl was indeed bitten by an insect. He did have some skills, it's just that he was full of nonsense, which made Dr. Dolly very annoying. Will also realized at this time that they would not let him move unless he guaranteed the safety of this thing. Okay. Then I'll prove it to you. Will was already holding the pickaxe and hitting his head. Everyone was shocked by his action. What is he doing? What does he want to do? Is he going to hit his head with that thing? Is he crazy? Chopper also looked unbelievable. Master, don't. You will die. But just after he finished speaking, he saw that the pickaxe in Will's hand did not hit his head, and it passed by his head, and it was still going up. Wait. Up. At this time, Will had swung his arms. He hit Chopper, who looked worried. Ha! Ah! Chopper, who had reacted, screamed immediately. Ding, congratulations to Sue for getting 150 negative points. But at this time, Chopper was too late to run. Chopper! Dolly rushed over while shouting, but this was too sudden, and everyone thought that Will was going to hit himself, but he didn't expect that he was just faking a shot. The real target was Chopper. Dolly could only watch the sharp pickaxe head hit Chopper's head. Ah! Chopper screamed again, but he was stunned after that, because he didn't feel any pain. The pickaxe only entered his head, but did not cause any damage. Everyone looked at this horrified scene and froze in place. What? What is this? How could it go through? Doriel's medical concept has begun to collapse. She can't explain the scene in front of her in any way. This is unscientific. She reacted and pulled Chopper into her arms and carefully examined his head, but after a while of searching, she still found nothing. as if that was really Will's exclusive method. It only removes toxins, not hurting the brain. Is there really such a strange thing in the world? Doriel, the doctor, now believes what Will said. After all, the facts are already in front of her, and from what Will said just now, it can be heard that he does have medical skills. Then this? Is it really as he said, only the treatment stage? Seeing that Chopper was intact, after a while, Luffy actually jumped up and ran over to look at Chopper's head. There is really no hole. It is really intact. He realized at this time that he had misunderstood that person. That is really the treatment stage. People tried their best to save Nami, but he still doubted them, which was really stupid. At this time, the noisy atmosphere made Nami open her eyes in a daze. She only saw a figure standing in front of her in a daze. She didn't understand the situation yet. I'm sorry. Luffy's attitude changed very quickly at this time, and he bowed 90 degrees to Will on the spot to apologize. I'm sorry, I shouldn't doubt you. Please continue to treat Nami. Luffy? Who is Luffy talking to? The person in front of me? Ask him to save me. Also, what is in his pocket? Why does it look a little weird? After listening to Luffy's words, the man slowly raised the item in his pocket towards himself. At this time, Nami could see what the lifted object was. Isn't that a pickaxe for mining? What does he want to do? Nami thought unconsciously. Will looked at Nami, who slowly opened her eyes at this time, and without hesitation, he swung his arm and smashed her with a pickaxe. That look was much more ruthless than the one he had just used to smash Chopper. He looked like he was going to smash the guy in front of him to pieces. Even Luffy, who asked him to move, clenched his, but at this time, his nervous face was extremely nervous. The patient Nami widened her eyes even more fiercely at this time. She was so weak that she actually shouted out. What are you doing? Don't do it. The pickaxe hit her head directly. There was a bang. Nami stared at the pickaxe so close that she could even see the tiny fleshy threads on it. This really close pickaxe. Nami gasped heavily. Her eyes were terrified to the extreme. Her heartbeat directly reached 180. Her body was shaking constantly because of fear. Ding. Congratulations to Sue for getting 400 negative points. Ding. Congratulations to Sue for getting 350 negative points. Ding. Congratulations to Sue for getting 250 negative points. The system voice in my mind had long been connected. Will's face was full of joy. This is too right. The look he gave Nami also became crazy. Negative points. Give me negative points. Without stopping, Will had raised it again and hit it again, and it was obvious that he swung it more roundly. Nami was powerless to move, dodge, or escape. She could only watch the pickaxe hit her body again and again. Every time it fell, Nami would scream. Everyone's heart was also tightened. Similarly, the system would also jump out. Add a little sweetness to Will's tiring work. Window_Tabula equals window_Tabula .push mode thumbs feed 01 container Tabula below article feed placement below article feed target _type mix. Chapter 9. My master is awesome, right? You are listening at novelfull.audio. How's it going, Nami? Are you feeling better? Ah. 0.5 minutes later, Luffy's voice came, but what responded to him was Nami's terrified scream. Will's head was full of sweat at this time, but he had no time to wipe it off. The pickaxe in his hand hit Nami's body mechanically. Nami's face, which was flushed due to the fever, began to gradually return to normal. It can't be said to be returning to normal. It turned pale quickly. Her scream, which sounded extremely sharp to others, became, ding, congratulations to the host for getting 200 negative points. Ding, congratulations to the host for getting 100 negative points. Ding, congratulations to the host for getting 20 negative points. Although it dropped very quickly, it was even gone when it reached 20, but Will also made a lot of money. So happy for Nami. These 5 minutes were like a nightmare. The swinging pickaxe kept appearing in front of her eyes. Although her body strength had recovered, her soul seemed to have left here long ago. At this time, her eyes finally went dark and she fainted. After swinging for 5 minutes, Will also stopped his movements. He sat down on the ground with his buttocks Both arms felt extremely sore. This really made him tired. Ordinary people swing in a circle 749 times, and can still stop in the middle. This really almost cost Will his life. However, looking at the pop-up system prompt, he was still quite satisfied. Ding, congratulations to the host for successfully treating Nami and gaining the ability, Money Management LV Max. Money Management? Nothing much. But fortunately, this wave has gained a lot of negative points, which is definitely enough for him for a while. Nami. Nami, are you okay? Nami, say something. Luffy grabbed Nami's head and blew 3 times on her face. He wanted to wake up the unconscious Nami in this way. But this behavior made Gigi very upset. With a bang, Luffy was kicked out of the door. Do you want to beat Nami to death? When she wakes up, I will expose your crimes to her. Gigi yelled and looked at Nami with some heartache. Will. What? What happened to Nami-san? Why did she faint? Gigi asked Wire anxiously. All of them saw the change in Nami. But just when they thought Nami was going to recover, Nami fainted. This was really hard for him to accept. Could it be that it was still okay? It's all my fault. If Nami-san had been taken care of, this wouldn't have happened if he hadn't been bitten. G had already begun to blame himself. Will, who had calmed down, began to answer his questions. She was just frightened, just wait a few minutes. Will said, panting. G's eyes lit up when he heard this. Is she just unconscious? That's great, Nami-san is safe, it's really great. Dr. Doriel's eyes also changed when she looked at Will. This kid, there's something wrong. She already hated him a little bit. How much hard work and diligence are hidden in that horrible treatment method. It seems that Will is smashing it randomly, and it's hard to see when smashing it. But how is that possible? All this can only show that his proficiency is terrifying. He must have performed this treatment countless times. He must have mastered some kind of strength and method. Only in this way can the person who was hit not be hurt. A hard-working doctor with superb medical skills. Dr. Doriel likes such doctors. Her opinion of Will is different now. This guy seems to be bad. What she hates most is the kind of guy who has white teeth, likes to talk nonsense and thinks he has superb medical skills. Just now, Will hit all her nerves. No wonder she would speak ill of Will. She looked at Chopper, who was looking at Will's operation with admiration. His eyes were full of yearning. Chopper's attitude towards Will was also incredible to Dr. Doriel. Chopper was very afraid of humans before, and his heart had suffered a lot of trauma. Both the deer and humans had hurt him deeply. At this time, it actually became so dependent on a man it had just met for a short time. This child is already so pitiful. If that guy can treat it well, it doesn't seem to be a bad thing to let Chopper follow him. Chopper also noticed her gaze. He looked up at her, and said proudly, Doctor. My master is awesome. Hearing this, Doriel Doctor also laughed, and Chopper also knew why she laughed, so he looked at her with some doubts. Awesome, awesome. She said with a little emotion and a melancholy tone. Chopper was about to respond, and Nami woke up again. When she opened her eyes, she saw Gigi looking at her with concern, but she suddenly opened her eyes. She sat up in a whoosh. With a look of fear in her eyes, she sat up and looked around in panic. Sudden. She stopped. His eyes focused on Weir, who was sitting on the ground panting, and the pickaxe next to him. Her eyes also began to tremble violently. The expression on his face became increasingly ugly. My body stopped and started to tremble. Ding, congratulations to the host for getting 80 negative points. Yo, make a fortune. Weir, who gained 80 negative points, was also in a good mood. At this time, he looked at Nami sitting on the sofa and asked, do you still feel comfortable somewhere? As he spoke, he stood up and walked over. This move scared Nami to the point of flying out of her wits. Once. You want to come over? Nami shouted as she hugged G's neck, and her whole body hung on G's body. This time, Gitsi was so happy that he was stunned. This happiness comes so suddenly. There was a spring-like smile on his face. The 2 eyes have already turned into heart shapes. He even forgot to make a gesture of thanks to Will. He's quite polite. Nami. You're awake. Luffy finally crawled out of the snowdrift at this time. He was also very happy when he saw Nami alive and kicking as soon as he came back. Nami. It was that guy who saved you. He was cured in just 5 minutes. It's so amazing. Luffy, a nervous guy, even thought that Will was quite interesting at this time. After all, which doctor would use that thing to treat illnesses? But Nami was stunned when she heard this. She slowly turned her head to look at Will, who was smiling. Doctor. This guy saved himself. Real or fake? Does he want to kill me? How did he become my savior? Her face was filled with disbelief. Yes, Nami-san, it was indeed this little brother who saved you. I also echoed, is it really him? Nami also believed it at this time, because might lie to her, but those scenes just now were still lingering in her mind. She found that she was really afraid of Jaiwol. I always felt that this person would suddenly snap up and give him a pickaxe. Hello, please settle the medical expenses here. The total is 50,000 Baileys. Will said lightly at this time, afraid of me? It's okay, there are plenty of ways to make you afraid. We know this little thieving cat very well, can we handle her easily? Sure enough, as soon as she heard this, Nami was furious. What? 50,000 Baileys. Why did you rob it? Did you just cure a fever? Why do you charge so much money? It's a black shop. Nami looked at Veer and shouted angrily, they didn't have much money on board, and even if there is, she will definitely pay it. This is obviously beyond the scope of normal medical expenses. But when Wire heard her shouting like this, he didn't panic at all. I can only make you jump around in 5 minutes. Do you think my medicine is cheap? Will said calmly. Nami was also stunned when she heard this. Ah. It seems, makes sense, the person recovered completely so quickly. There seems to be nothing wrong with the medicine being more expensive, but, where are you on your medicine? Just take a pickaxe and hit me on the head. Is this considered medicine? As if seeing Nami's conviction, Veer spoke up again. That's our family's heirloom. It's going to be broken soon. It's one thing at a time. What's the problem if I take you 500,000 at a time? After Veer finished speaking, Nami was really speechless, but they really don't have 50,000 yuan. Young handsome boy, can you? Yes. It's free. Before Nami could finish her words, Will immediately answered, I just want to ask if it can be cheaper. It's free for me. Is this going to take you down? When Nami heard that it was free, her mind was still a little confused. This was the first time that she was confused by the opponent when it came to bargaining. I haven't said it yet, did you waive the bill directly? Yes, are you so generous? Nami, like rich men. After the initial disbelief, Nami quickly took over the conversation. She was really afraid that this guy would regret it. Really? Thank you so much. You are such a kind-hearted person. We are so lucky to have met you. After Nami finished speaking, the other 2 young men were also dragged to thank Will. Seeing Nami like this, Veer finally nodded. Oh, is this so scary? The last resistance to joining the Straw Hats is gone. The probability has increased slightly. $window, _Taboola equals window, _Taboola, _Taboola. Push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container, Taboola below article feed, placement, below article feed, target _type, mix. Chapter 10 You are listening at novelfull.audio. At this moment, there was a loud bang. There seemed to be the sound of some artillery firing. Immediately afterwards there was a loud bang from the door. Several people looked at the sound. I saw that the door had been blasted to pieces. Through the big hole, one could see a fat guy with purple hair standing outside, that country's original king, Valpo. They encountered Luffy and others at sea, and after suffering a loss, they chased them all the way to the Drum Country. Muhahaha. Get out of here. Otherwise I will blow this house to pieces. Valpo was shouting outside. Were frowned slightly when he saw the Valpo guy shouting arrogantly outside. Why did this guy come so quickly? Somewhat unreasonable. Luffy's injury has not been cured yet, and Sanji is also seriously injured. Chopper doesn't know how to deal with him. This is really difficult to handle. Originally, He wanted to cure Luffy and Sanji and let them fight slowly. As a result, before this was cured, they were attacked right at the door. I originally planned to use my medical knowledge to slowly treat the two of them, but time is running out now, you can only rely on them all. Will remembered that when he was walking around, he saw a bruise medicine, which should be used to treat Sanji's back injury, but after he was cured, Sanji alone was no match for Valpo. The Valpo guy looks like crap, but he actually has some ability. He couldn't find any medicine to cure Luffy's injury, then we can only cure Sanji first, and then see if we can get his kicking skills. He has Chopper's leg enhancements. And combined with his kicking skills, he is absolutely powerful, dealing with Valpo shouldn't be a big problem. Now let Chopper hold that guy down. Luffy has no fighting ability now, and his feet are seriously injured, he thought, but Luffy couldn't help it. This guy is so annoying. He actually broke the door of the doctor's house. I'll beat him away. Luffy said as he strode outside. Nami punched him on the head. Luffy immediately cried out with his head in his arms. Why hit me? You're stupid. Look at your feet. Are you going to die? Nami also roared at Luffy. When Nami said this, Luffy felt pain in his swollen and exposed bones. Hey! It hurts so much. Why didn't I notice it just now? It hurts so much. Doctor, please save me. I'm dead, Luffy said as he moved closer to Ver. He wanted Ver to deal with it first so that he could fight off that annoying guy. Boom. Boom. At this time, there was another sound at the door. Valbo's big-headed melon had already appeared there, and biting the door in a big way. Soon the entire wall was eaten by him. When Luffy saw this, he immediately hit him with a Goma brain. How dare you eat the doctor's wall? His fist hit Valpo straight in the stomach. Immediately afterwards, severe pain came from the heartbreaking pain made him scream out immediately, and he withdrew his swollen fist. If you mess around again, you will be useless. Weir also opened his mouth and said at this time, Luffy, this guy is really messing around. His upper body is so seriously injured, yet he still dares to hit him. What? What should we do? He is tearing down your home, doctor. Valpo is still biting. It's like a lunatic who hasn't eaten for hundreds of years. Chopper. Go delay him first. I'll be here in a minute. After Will said this, Chopper immediately transformed into a deer and rushed towards Valpo. There was no hesitation. Will didn't waste any more time and took out the bottle of bruise medicine. Medicine for bruises. Price, 500. Function, treat any bruises. Side effect, makes the user extremely ugly, lasting for a period of time. This bottle of is worth 500. 500. Will was in quite a bit of pain, but this was the only way it could be. The things to treat Luffy's injuries were more expensive and he couldn't afford them. Will didn't hesitate. He picked up his medical kit and kicked Sanji, who was watching the show, to the ground. Don't move. Let me treat your waist injury, Vile said to Sanji as he opened the medical kit. Sanji, who was a little angry at first, knew that the situation was urgent now. In his opinion, if Will chooses to save himself, he must think that he is the only hope. He also quickly lifted up his clothes. A large bruise was exposed on his waist. Will also took out the bottle of bruise medicine at this time. As soon as he took it out, Sanji's eyes changed. Became extremely frightened, because in his opinion, what Will took out was a bottle of rotten vegetable soup that looked rancid. There were even a few rotten vegetable leaves floating inside. As soon as Will opened it, an extremely foul smell came out of it. As a chef, Sanji has never seen anything like this, but when he smelled that smell. Cough cough cough. This smell is simply more abstract than the smelly socks and underwear that have been castrated for several years. Sanji was fucked right on the spot and made a lot of noises. Ding, congratulations to the host for getting 200 negative points. Huh? What's going on? Is Sanji afraid of applying medicine? Also afraid of pain? Will was a little confused, but he kept moving, and now time was running out. Chopper had fought with Valpo. Will poured out a whole bottle of bruises and injuries medicine, then he used his hands to slowly massage Sanji's waist and back. Ding, congratulations to the host for getting 500 negative points. What? Earned it back in one go. What's going on? Will was stunned. On Sanji's side, he watched Will need the stinky water on his back, and his back was covered with unknown liquid. He even vomited it directly. He could even feel that the rotten leaves were constantly changing shapes in Will's body. This really made him sick to death, but from Will's perspective, the bruises on Sanji's back were disappearing quickly. At this rate, it would heal soon, but at this moment, Will's expression became more and more strange, because Sanji's face was changing into an indescribable shape. Window, _Taboola equals window, _Taboola, _Taboola dot push, mode, thumbs, feed, 01, container. Taboola below article feed, placement, below article feed, target _type, mix.